There once was a boy who had a mother who owned a radio shack that rented out video games of the 80s and 90s. Now that boy is a man trying to sell those games that sat for years in his grandmother's basement. Will you give one of these games a new home? Welcome to 8-Bit Basement.
Today, I will be featuring Secret Scout in the Temple of Demise. This was released on the Nintendo Entertainment System by Color Dreams in 1991. I have the game itself, as well as the box, but I don't have the manual. If I did have the manual, I could read firsthand the misspelling of longter, and learn the enemies' names. Ha! Bony Tony. It's 'cause he's a skeleton, and Tony rhymes with bony. The story of this game goes, separated from your troops by unexplained events, you are... Wait, hold it. Unexplained events? Whoever wrote this couldn't come up with anything? How about their plane crashed, or their ship wrecked, or the rest of his troops were kidnapped by the bad guys, or just anything? Unexplained events. Get out of here with that. I don't even care about the rest of the introduction now. So let's pop the game in and see what we have. Well, this green and brown mess is supposed to be a jungle. Don't act like you can't tell. If this is any indication of what's to come, then we might be in for a rough adventure. Hell, my character kind of blends in with this background. Speaking of the protagonist character, what exactly is he supposed to be? He seems like a grown man dressed up as a 12-year-old Boy Scout. On the cover art, he looks like a Cabbage Patch Kid with his oversized round head, deep dimples, and bulges eyes. Ugh, damn your eyes, son. Your main attack is to kick. When he kicks, he looks like he's striking a dance move, or a yoga pose. And when he's standing still, what exactly is that flesh-colored part protruding from his crotch area? Is that a testicle hanging out? Somebody get this man some Hanes! Or is it supposed to be his knee because he's standing on one foot? Why would he be doing that? Either way, it's strange. The bland backgrounds go hand in hand with the bland music. From what I noticed, there's only 2 scores of music for the entire game, and they are both fairly simple and just constantly loop. Here's the one. Here's the other. Great, huh? Nothing to write home about here. All of it is easily forgettable. The hit detection is kind of awkward, and you have to get used to the timing to kick enemies properly. It's lame when a game's hit detection is off and something you have to adjust to. Basically, it makes it not all that fun to play. Just look at me trying to hit this guy here. It looks like I'm connecting, but it has no effect. Here it looks like I miss, yet he gets hurt. This guy's laughing right in the face of my yoga strikes. Other NES games like River City Ransom, or POW, didn't have this problem, and those games are awesome. Yeah, now that's how you kick a proper ass. You have the ability to run by holding in the B button and pressing A to jump. Classic formula. The running and jumping mechanics of the game are pretty solid, and I have no complaints about them. Heck, the game sometimes gives you a wide margin of leeway to land on platforms. Check this landing out. Didn't even come close, but hey, I'm up there. The enemies in the game are definitely a motley crew. There's crazy natives, that's what the game named them, not me. Musketeers, mix of an executioner and ninja types, arrow slingers, skeletons, Bony Tony, these propeller jerks, maniac painters or ice cream truck drivers or whatever the hell these guys are supposed to be. He's not even in the manual. Giant pissed off beach goers? I mean, he's wearing shorts, sandals, and a visor. Where else in the hell would he be going? Another out-of-place character is this bat-wielding 50s greaser dude. You know, when I think of villains that would be inhabiting secret temples in the middle of jungles, I usually think of motorcycle gang members. Holy crap, did I just kill a bald eagle? Oh man, I just killed another one! Killing bald eagles is pretty frowned upon, dude. Manboy Scout here better hope nobody from the Fish and Wildlife Services is watching him drop-kick eagles out of the sky. There's also these weird, short, wacky-haired goons that fire projectiles at you. And damn are these guys annoying. If they keep shooting you, it's hard to get out of the way again. There's always 3 of them, and a lot of the time you're just trying to kick one, but you're getting shot by the other ones. Man, these guys suck. But they are in no way anywhere near as frustrating as this asshole who leaps around and chucks knives and bombs at you. This guy is easily the most pain-in-the-ass enemy in the game. It's made worse by the times when this floating red prickly rope is around, because if it touches you, you're stuck in that position for a few seconds. And Jumping Dickhead Man here just rains knives and bombs on you. In the manual, this guy's name is Pierre Lepounce. So he's some French guy hanging out in a forest temple with 50s greasers, angry beachgoers, and rabid dwarves with bad hair. Where the hell did these guys meet each other? Craigslist? The developers basically admit he's the hardest enemy in the game. Quoting, "One of the trickiest enemies in the temple." No, they mean to say he is the trickiest dick in the temple. Just look at his cocky matching half-moon hairdo and beard. And also his... oh my. Damn, one of these guys is enough to make me want to throw this game out the window. So thank goodness they never have two of these douchebags with flying prickly rope at the same time. Oh, holy sweet shit. You know, this is it. This is the tipping point. I now hate the French. Now you may be thinking, why not just run past these guys? Well, the game makes you fight every enemy in the game by locking the screen until you kill them all. So you're forced to just get ass raped a lot of the time until you're lucky enough to fend them off. Once you kill an enemy, a heart will drop for health from the top of the screen. Most of the time they just get caught on a higher ledge, and it makes it a chore to get them. Come on, what is this shit? I can't get through this? When you do try to go around ledges and find a way up, if you leave the frame and go back, the hearts are gone. Even trying to pick them up isn't simple. Here I am jumping at it like a reasonable video game player would do, and somehow I'm not picking it up. It's not until I get on the same plane as it and walk into it is when I get it. Holy hell. It's not just the hearts, but trying to get the torch here should be a lot simpler than what it is. Jesus, this is miserable. On top of the enemies, there's also evil objects, as the game calls them, such as UFOs that drop tomatoes on you, giant arrowheads that seem to hit you at every inopportune time, exploding volleyballs? No wonder this beach guy is so mad. His balls keep breaking, Yeah, I know it's not that good. There's also drops of water that kill you. Then there's this knife throwing. Wait, hold on a second. Did I just say drops of water kill you? Yeah, for real. Water hurts this loser. Gee, look out for the multiple droplets. Those are especially deadly. Wow. How does this guy shower? Does he ever do it? I assume he smells pretty terrible. You know, this is probably the reason he got separated from his troops, because he's a stinky, creepy-eyed weirdo who wears children's clothing with no underwear and kicks bald eagles in the face. They all decided they hated this guy and left him stranded in the jungle to die. There's your unexplained events right there. Anyways, there's this knife-throwing star you've got to run from because apparently you can't kill it. Then there's this yellow thing that once it grabs you, it just blows you up and kills you instantly. I'd be more annoyed by this object if you didn't have infinite lives. Technically, you have as many lives as this number up here indicates, but when you run out, you're brought back to the title screen, and if you hit A and start at the same time, you pick right back up where you left off, in the same room that you died in. It's a nice feature because I don't know if I would have the patience to restart this game at the beginning every time I ran out of lives. Although it begs the question, why even have numbered lives at all if you can just start right back off where you were? Who really likes starting this game all the way back at the beginning again when you're just trying to beat it? Why not just be given infinite lives and just do away with having to go back to the title screen to continue? Either way, I like that the game lets you play on without having to restart the whole process. Although, what's up with the icon for extra lives looking like the head of the crazy native enemy? Shouldn't it look like your character's head? Or at least what the extra life pickups look like, since they just look like smaller sprites of the scout? I don't know. That's just weird to me. When you do lose a life, Scout here looks like he's bending down to pick something out of the dirt, but then gets right back up and continues on from that exact spot. I like this feature too because the game doesn't put you back at the beginning of the room again. That only happens when you continue from the title screen, or if you fall into a pit. Although where the game places you after falling into a pit can be confusing at times. For example, I entered this room from the right side and I'm heading left. But after reappearing from falling in a pit, I was placed on the opposite side of the room from where I entered it. Naturally, I would assume that the game would take me back to where I entered. Unknowingly, I would then head back to the direction from where I originally came from. Ugh. What the game actually did is advance my position as if it knows it's not that good of a game and is just trying to help players get it over with faster. I guess I can't be too mad at it then. Thank goodness there's a map in this game, or else you would have no idea where the hell you were going. In many sections of the game, several rooms look exactly like each other. For being an exploration game, this is pretty poor because most rooms consist of you just easily running in one direction and seeing the same boring platform designs again and again. After you kill enemies, for the most part they don't reappear if you leave the room and come back, which I like, because if I had to keep fighting these dicks every 4 seconds, I would have burned this game already. But when there's no enemies for a while, then like I said, the game is just you running in one direction and seeing the same boring platform designs again and again. So it's a double-edged sword. With the enemies absent, the only thing that's left to be a hazard is the ladders. Yeah, the ladders. Here I am, running along and thinking I'm just gonna clear the ladder, but down I go. I learn from my mistakes, so I cautiously jump over them. Later, I see this ladder can take me down, so I go down it and... Alright, what the hell was that? Let's try this again. This time I get on the ladder, and look at that. I can climb down it, but be damned if I jump down it, huh? I can jump down this ladder just fine. But if it leads off screen, then it will kill me? What a crack. Well, when there are enemies, there are scarce power-ups throughout the game to find. There's a shield that when used, it creates this yellow rectangle around you for a short time. You can use it much in the same way as the star pickup in the Mario games. But don't think it actually shields you from projectiles because it doesn't. You'd be a real idiot for thinking that. The boomerang is helpful to clear enemies if you're able to catch it when it circles back. Here's the first time of me using it, just trying to test it out to see how it works, and there it goes. Here's me trying to use it on this knife-throwing star, and there it goes again. You see, I didn't know you were actually able to retrieve it. I didn't know if it automatically came back to you, or if it was just a one-time deal until you found another. Also, I didn't know you could not kill these stars until I read it in the manual, so here's a third time of me using it to kill these two jerks. Yeah, eat shit, Pierre. Okay, it's coming back now, and I need to jump and get it, and son of a bitch! I got hit right at the moment I was trying to catch it. Screw it, who needs a stupid bent piece of wood anyway? There's also brass knuckles to be found in the game, but I didn't find them, and I still managed to beat it, so they must not be all that important. So, moving on. There's keys to use on, well, doors. And there's suction cups to use for climbing on walls. These especially come in handy when you're falling into a pit and you catch yourself at the last second, but more on that later. The power-up you accrue the most of is the dynamite. This one has a few uses. You can throw them at enemies, which requires timing and can deplete your stock quickly if you keep missing. Yeah, eat two shits, Pierre. You can use it to blast through blocked doorways, which seems simple enough, but watch what happens when I place a stick right in front of the doorway. And now when I put it slightly off kilter? Incredible. And it can be used to shoot you up for higher jumps. Yes, that's right. He's throwing dynamite at his feet to help him jump, and it's not blowing him in half. So let me get this straight. Drops of water kill Scout, but dynamite doesn't hurt him at all. Got it. But the most important power-up you collect in the game is hands down the torch. Why, you ask? It's because there are sections in the game, especially a large portion towards the end, where the rooms are completely pitch black. You can't even see your items in the inventory at the top. So say you go into one of these rooms without having the cursor on the torch, you then have to scroll over to it and try to remember which slot it is. While you're trying to do this, you're getting attacked by an enemy you can't see, and you can't scroll through the inventory when this is happening. The best thing to do is when you enter a dark room, exit it immediately, turn on the torch, and then proceed back into the dark room. Once you activate it, you only get a minute before it goes out. And you do not want to be deep in one of these rooms when the torch goes out. If you are, you're basically screwed. Just look at me fumbling around trying to find ledges to jump on to get to an exit. God damn, this is insufferable. After 5 minutes of this, out of blind desperation, I threw a stick of dynamite to see if it would light up the room, and lo and behold, it does for a second. I was then able to get out. I'm glad I had the dynamite, or else it would have been game over for me. I would have turned this shit off and walked away. This is the biggest reason why I don't use dynamite to throw at enemies or use the jump up to get hearts on high ledges. I have it in case I run into a situation like this again, or if I want to get through a doorway. So when playing this game, it's important to collect every torch you come across. It's annoying the game doesn't number the count of torches you have like it does the dynamite. When I was going through the underground section of the game that's mainly dark rooms, I was nervous that my next torch was going to be my last. I was always trying to anticipate when the torch was ready to burn out to switch back to the torch slot, but sometimes I couldn't always be on top of it. Usually when that happened, I would then try to blindly fumble over to the torch in the inventory, but realized I couldn't because I was stuck in an area where I was getting ghost raped by invisible enemies. Boy, this is irritating. And speaking of how you switch items in your inventory, you have to hold the select button and hit left and right to move it to whichever one you want. To use the item once on it, you hold the select and hit either up or down. Seems simple enough, right? Wrong. I don't know if maybe my controller is just old and the buttons are sticking, or if the game's inventory switching and using system is just buggy. But there were many times when I was just trying to do the select and up to use an item, but it kept switching over to the next item. This was very annoying, especially in times when I was trying to use my shield, a torch in the dark, or to catch myself with the suction cups when falling. Look at this here. I promise I am pressing the up button on the D-pad, and down I go. I've been playing video games for roughly 25 years, and I know how to use the up button on a D-pad correctly. That's not me bragging, that's just a sad fact. The final boss of the game is the same guy you see flying around on the title screen. Apparently this is Dr. Demise. In the game, he's depicted wearing a brown outfit, but in the title screen, it's yellow, and on the cover art, it's white-ish. Whatever. At least he's not wearing a child's outfit like our hero here. I've gotta say, fighting this guy was probably the most frustrating part of the game, which I guess is fitting since it's the end. Just look at what this flying bitch does. God damn it! How the hell am I supposed to get out of this? So how do you kill Dr. Demise? Just like everybody else. Yoga kick his ass to death. Finally. After making Dr. Demise go up in smoke, you get the end screen message.
Congratulations, Secret Scout! You've managed to kill off Dr. Demise and his band of scum-sucking cohorts. Unfortunately, the exit from the temple has been covered up with a thick layer of hardened pewter and boulder fragments. It would be a miracle if you got out. I'll notify your next of kin right away. Thanks a million for your brave efforts.
So, Secret Scout stays trapped inside the temple until he dies of starvation? Obviously he can't drink the water, and the only thing to eat are the hearts of his enemies, which are gone now since they're all dead. There was never a sequel, so yeah, he's dead. You know what? I like this ending. Good riddance to this weirdo. So that's Secret Scout in the Temple of Demise. It's not a good game, but to be fair, it's not a terrible game either. Things like the awkward hit detection, the boring level designs, the boring music, the lame power-ups, the unfair or downright frustrating enemies, the clunky inventory system, the dark rooms, and the mess that is trying to pick up objects are things that hold this game back. But the infinite lives feature from the start screen, getting right back up where you die, enemies not reappearing constantly, and the solid running and jumping mechanics make it at least playable. This is a mediocre game. Nothing more, nothing less. As you know already, I have the game and the box. The box is a little rough around the corners. And most, if not all of my boxes have this plastic hook piece. This was how my mother hung the games up in her store. Inside the box is the plastic wrap for the cartridge. Also, there's this paper blue sleeve with a design on it. The cartridge is in good shape. She looks purty. Obviously it works because you just watched a video of me playing it. I'll be listing the game in the box on eBay. If you'd like to make a bid, you can find my account by searching for my user ID, Beer Noodles. I'll make the listing shortly after I post a new video. So if you'd like to keep up to date with which game I'm selling next, please subscribe to my channel. Farewell for now, friends. Stay classic in that.
Good shot. Okay, he's dead. Let's go get him. That's another one for the fire.